I wish I would have taken more risk and failed more.
Failures make us learn. Failures make you stronger. Pain makes you stronger.
Through all the failure I went through trying to build this person who's Goggins.
Failed your way to success. I have a saying, is life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up.
Since you're all in anyways, you might as well take the risks that are adventurous.
If you need to perform, you need to be very, very humble. And like, if I've got an event that I've got to do, I've got a mission that I've got to do, I've got to train, I've got to prepare, I've got to plan, and all of that is driven from humility, right? I don't think I'm ready, so I'm gonna prepare more, I'm gonna rehearse more. I'm not thinking clearly about what the enemy will do, so I need to come up with a better plan. Like, I'm gonna be very humble, and I'm gonna therefore prepare very hard and very extensively. But at the moment I put my night vision goggles on and I lower them down over my eyes, there's like a switch that goes off that I am 100% gonna win.
Well, when you're under the thumb of a tyrant, you're dependent and infantile and slavish and possessed of a false certainty. But when you abandon that or move beyond it, and that all falls apart, you don't instantaneously find yourself with the habits of a free and responsible person. You find yourself in the chaos that's the inevitable bloody aftermath of the collapse of a tyranny, and then in a period of chaos and confusion that can last for decades or lifetimes in the aftermath of that. And if you want to know why people are willing to be the slaves even of their own tyranny, one answer to that is that they're very loath to experience the Red Sea chaos and the sojourn in the desert, lost. That's the inevitable consequence of moving beyond even the foolish assumptions of a tyrannical state. Sometimes before you move from bad to better, you move from bad to worse. And the fact that you can move from bad to worse before moving to better is one of the things that forever keeps you locked in the kingdom of what's undesirable. It's a great mystery, right? Because it's a very curious thing that it's unlikely that people will stand up against tyranny or reject, even in the microcosm of their own life, within the confines of their own mind, within the strictures of their own marriage. If you understand that when you leave tyranny you're lost, then you understand why people are afraid to move forward even beyond that which is not desirable or acceptable to them.
And I think that fear, that uncertainty, is what keeps most people from growing until they get enough pain, and then that pushes them through a threshold where their needs aren't being met. They got to change. And unfortunately, most people wait till they have enough pain.
I had to look at it from a long term because I wasn't going to give up on the game.
Right.
So I had to say, okay, this year I'm going to get better at that. Next year, this, and then so forth and so on. And then patiently, I was able to catch them, figure it out, man. It's just piece by piece, and it's the consistency of the work, which I feel like a lot of parents are missing today because we're not teaching that to our kids. We tend to say like kids don't want to do the work, but in reality, it's us. I mean, we're failing them because we're not leading them the right way and teaching them, how to fish, you know what I mean? And so like the consistency of work, Monday, get better. Tuesday, get better. Wednesday, get better, right? And you do that over a period of time, not like 1 month or 2 months. I mean, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And then you can get to where you want to go.
You got to have a very clear vision of where you want to go. Because if you don't have that, you're just floating around. And so, I was very fortunate that I created that vision. I was very fortunate that there was not the side kind of things going on. We didn't have a phone in our house. We didn't have a television in our house. At that time, there were no iPhones, there were no iPads, there was no computer. There was just really, you had all the time in the world to think and to really just sit quietly and to just visualize. And I always say that I feel sorry for kids today that are spending hours and hours on that iPhone or an iPad or computer, and they don't give themselves that chance to just settle back and to just figure out what do they want to do or who do they want to be. And so this is why I think that I made that kind of the rule number one is, visualize. And I always compare it to that you can have the best airplane in the world with the most advanced pilot. But if he doesn't know where to go, he's just going to fly around until it crashes. And that's what happens to you in life. If you don't know where you want to go or who you want to be, you eventually just float around and you eventually crash.
Not one part of me wanted to come train today. Like 0% of me wanted to come train today. And I'm so glad I came and trained. Because, you always feel great when you get done training. But discipline isn't just, oh, this person is, quote, more disciplined than this other person. It's like, no, this person is choosing discipline, this person is not. That's the way it is. So I think that's an important thing to remember. You have the option of being disciplined. You don't have the option of being born 6'4", right? You don't have that option. You either are or you're not. But you do have the option of choosing discipline or not.
Great performers, whether I think in life or in acting, they can play any part. They can be any creation, but they're always one at a time. And that's where some patience has to come in. That's where a bit of that, hey, don't rush to accomplish. Just play one part at a time. But as life gets big, you've got a career and you've got a family, there's many parts to play. Father, husband, performer, or writer, whatever those are. But as you know, with practice, that instead of feeling like 5 different hats you got to wear one day, you go, oh, that's all part of the same story. That's all part of the same man I am.
They have to expose themselves to something that will give them a different vision of themselves. And in addition to that, they have to put themselves in a community of what I call OQP, only quality people. A gentleman who dramatically transformed my life, I was a junior at Booker T. Washington High School in Miami, Florida, and I went in his class looking for another friend, and he said, go to the board and work this problem out for me. I said, sir, I can't do that. He said, why not? I said, I'm not one of your students. He said, do it anyhow. And the other kids started laughing, saying, he's Leslie, he's DT. And he said, what's DT? His brother is smart, but he's the dumb twin. And I said, I am, sir. And he came from behind his desk and he pointed at me. He said, don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And he taught me 3 things. He said, if you want to become successful in life, young man, he said, number 1, you got to change your mindset. He said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Number 2, practice OQP, only quality people. You earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. I found that out. I left all my broke friends. I said, y'all gotta go. Because I used to be so broke, I passed the bank and tripped the alarm. And the 3rd thing he said, develop your communication skills.
You grow up and you make game-winning shots and it's awesome. You come back the next day and miss a game-winning shot and it's misery. And then the next day comes and you're back playing again, and you understand that life has this cyclical nature where it's, what you do on Monday, it's fantastic, but then Tuesday is a bad day. But guess what? There's Wednesday. Yeah. So are we just supposed to live our lives like this the whole time? Versus just staying like this and understanding that it's really just a journey of evolution every day. It's just constant improvement, constant curiosity, constantly getting better. The results don't really matter. It's the figuring out that matters.
How have you dealt with this battle of success not making you soft?
You have to cap it. You have to learn to cap success. So what I do is, like right now, I don't like doing podcasts. There's a lot of things I don't do that I have to do now to get the message out there to help people out. And what I mean by capping success, I believe everybody should live their life. So everything that someone says in life, take it with a grain of salt. Take what they give and don't be like, oh, David Goggins said this or whoever said this. No, do not take what I say and do exactly what I say. So for me, what makes me who I am, because my mission is very different than yours or anybody else's. I have to go into a situation knowing, okay, I'm a guy who wants to make people better. For people to get better, I have to continuously get better myself. For me to do that, I can't just say, oh, I have this resume, the resume is there forever, I'm good. I have to cap my success, because for me to help people out, I can't just say I did it once and I'm good. I have to continue to reinvent the wheel of the mind and figure out more and more ways for you to pull. Because if I have a cookie cutter message, it may hit 5 people out of 25. You just failed. My message needs to be in a way where I can hit all 25 people. It needs to be broad enough to where all 25 people may not like the message, but they're getting something from it. And that is evolution. You must continue to evolve. And you don't evolve, for me, in my job, unless I cap myself somewhere and say, okay, you made this much money, get back to fucking work. It's time to get back to work. It's Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the fucking noise. Get back to the fucking mental lab.
Just one. Let's just go one in a row. We ain't thinking about and if, then. No, let's just do one in a row. You know what I mean? And just start with one and just stop there. I remember being down in, after Katrina, we were in the Gulf in Mississippi, and we were on these property where all these houses were wiped out. And we were in this one place, and there's this lady's house was just a slate of cement with some rubbish and stuff. It had been completely knocked down. And she came back, and she was about 80 years old, and she was still in her nightgown. And she saw it for the first time. She was just like, and we asked her, what are you looking for? She goes, well, I just want to find a picture, maybe in a scrapbook, so my grandchildren can say I don't live here, but that will help me. And then I was sitting there talking to her, and I was like, what are you feeling right now? She goes, I just, can you tell me where to put my right foot if I take a step?
Yeah.
I just need, is it solid? Is it going to cave? Am I going to trip? Can you just tell me? I don't even want to look right now. Can I trust you to tell me that if I step this way, one step, my foot will be solid and flat, and I won't slip, and it won't be dangerous. I won't step on a piece of glass. It's not going to, and that's just wanted one step. That's a person in misery going, just show me one solid step. I don't want to know what's going on. No, I don't, not what's happening in an hour, not what's happening in 30 minutes. Just give me one solid step.
Yeah.
That seems to be a place to start for someone in misery.
Yeah.
That doesn't have the ability to project or is so confused, and you feel it's got too much coming down on you, too much pain to think down the line. And then if you do that once, then you reset and you bring up the same question. All right, what's the next one step? Mm-hmm. If it one in a row over and over, instead of, I'm going to put a string together. No, do one in a row over and over and look up, and maybe you can go, look at that.
Yeah.
10 in a row.
You have to work on yourself, and you have to have an unstoppable attitude, and no excuse is acceptable. And you've got to make it a priority, a non-negotiable in your life, and hold a constant vision of what it is you want to achieve. See it accomplished and go all out. Find a way to win in spite of the setbacks, in spite of the disappointments, in spite of your failures. I tell people when I'm giving presentations, you will fail your way to success. I have a saying, is life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And so those experiences of going after goals that's beyond your comfort zone, and having relationships that will challenge you, and surrounding yourself with coaches and mentors who can take you to a place within yourself that you can't go by yourself, because you can't read the label when you're locked in the box.
If you're comparing yourself to someone, or even to a future self, and the gap is so painful that it paralyzes you, then you've created a dragon that you don't have the tools to master. And so what you have to do is you have to scale the dragon down to size. And you want to scale the dragon down to size until it's a size that you are willing to move toward, however small that is. Now, if you're here and your ideal is here and that gap is unbearable, then you reduce the gap and you reduce the gap. And you're going to have to do that anyways, because you're not going to move from where you are to perfect in one fell swoop, right? There's going to be incremental steps. So you have to fill in that hierarchy of progression with a high enough resolution representation so that you can start to move forward. And then you should be buttressed. There's another gospel comment that's very interesting. It has to do, it's called the Matthew principle. And the Matthew principle is, to those who have everything, more will be given, and from those who have nothing, everything will be taken. Now, it's brutal because it implies that reality works like this. When you're moving up, you go like this, right? And that's pretty nice. That's a lot better than this. But when you're going down, you go like that, right? It's like downhill, cliff. Okay, so you want to avoid the downhill path. Well, if the uphill path is like this, which is like exponential, let's say, or geometric, then what that means is that it doesn't matter how big the first steps you take uphill are, even if they're trivial, even if they're shameful in their size, because you're so useless, that if you're disciplined in that, you'll speed up extraordinarily rapidly. And so that's the good news, you might say, is that you can take very small steps, even ones that might be shameful in their size, and you have to admit that to yourself, but Once you get the ball rolling, it doesn't roll in a linear fashion, it rolls in a geometric fashion.
I expect perfection for myself a lot, and I don't reach it. And I know I can, or I believe I can. That's a better word. I believe I can. And I don't want to quit believing I can. That's sort of where I find myself in approaching life. Keep going for perfection. Keep finding that reality comes in under that. And you will have climbed more stairs, if we're going to have a vertical, by the end. You will have had more quality. Your roots will have been deeper and wider, inside and out, vertically and to the south, than if you didn't chase that perfection.